Hello, welcome. My name is Jen and this is Paul.
Kia ora.
And we thank you for joining us for your Yoga Rhapsody practice. And today we have an hour of yin, so just a handful of shapes that will be focused primarily around the spine and around the back of the body, but we'll also feel other parts of the body within the shapes. And it's here not only to support our spine, but also to support our nervous system. This practice could be done at any time of the day, but it might be really nice to perhaps sink into it just before bed or later in the evening. And it could be really useful if you're feeling slightly anxious, if there's any fear with you or agitation, sense of nervousness, and especially with kind of what we're experiencing together right now. Lots of changes, some big, some small, but we're still showing up every day. And through those changes, we might start to feel this element of fear, and it might be stored somewhere in the body, often around the back line of the body. So take your time, be really kind. Remember that this is here to give us support, comfort and safety. And if you wish to join us, then take hold of, perhaps if you have a yoga block, that could be useful. Otherwise, a couple of cushions would be really good. So if you've got a couple of them, pop them beside your mat. And the first shape is going to be, well, there is an option to have our legs up against the wall. So if you have some wall space handy and you want to head over to there, take your mat and wander off. And if you would rather stay here, exactly where you are, perfect. I'm going to give you another option. So decide where you want to be, what is going to support you the most, where will you find comfort and safety. And then make your decision and start to find that place on your mat. So, if you've decided to stay in the space in the middle of the room, great. We're going to bring the spine towards the floor. Send your feet out towards the side of your mat so that your knees can come together. Maybe lift the shoulders, settle the spine so it can be in this nice kind of restful place where it doesn't need to do anything or be anywhere, just in neutral. If you've taken the wall option or some other surface that will work for you, then scoot yourself nice and close. If you're not there already, you could just come onto your elbows, turn gently and bring your heels or the back of your legs. You can shuffle a little bit closer to that wall. You could take your legs a little wider if you wanted to. You could even bend your knees and feel the soles of the feet ground. Wherever we are in either shape, you should start to feel the weight of your body move towards the back line. And make any adjustments so that your spine can be in a nice neutral place. Check in. Do you feel safe? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel supported? And if not, make some adjustments. If so, you might start to close the eyes. As you close the eyes, you might become aware of your legs. So whether it starts at your feet or the top of your knees, there is this trickling of energy and blood moving down through the inner seams. So through these major blood vessels, meridian lines, this blood and energy kind of pulls around the pelvis and then starts to flow down through the river of the spine, out through the crown of the head. And we step out of this energy's way just to let it flow freely. In a place where we don't necessarily have to like or dislike what's happening. It's a neutral place where we just get to watch and observe. You could watch and observe, or we'll start to bring your attention to your breath. And we settle in. Arms take a comfortable place.
I will walk down this road forever with you, with my heart held safe by the grace of your truth. And today we're weighted by our tribe, with their toes in the sand. Come take my hand, and we'll stroll down MORRISON Road.
And if your attention isn't at your breath, can we bring it there? Just notice the changes you feel as the breath comes in, as it hangs around for a moment, and then as it leaves, the pause that follows. Just allowing that to happen if we can. Stepping back slightly, staying connected and just watching, observing, as well as being observed. Perhaps it's the breath that brings us into that place of observance.
I wanna roll down MORRISON Road forever with you, and I'll call me of love to order a room with a view. Tonight we will dance with our tribe, with our hearts open wide, and you by my side, and then we'll ride on through this life.
If your legs are up the wall, can you walk them down? Bring the knees in for a hug. If your knees are together, can you bring the knees in towards you? And then roll onto your side. Spend a few moments on your side with the rounding of your spine. Just become aware of the shape that's here.
I will walk with you forever down MORRISON Road, through the rough and the smooth. We'll grow gracefully old, and forever we'll be held by our tribe and the love in their eyes. And you by my side, come let's stroll down MORRISON Road.
As you become aware of the rounding of your spine, noticing the parts that usually curve in, part of this curve out and around. This first curve that we're in, first curve that we're born with, or starts to evolve. And it's not until we experience a little bit more of our life that the other curves start to progress. And it's often in these other curves where we might hold fear and tension. So again, allowing the energy to flow freely. And just watching this shape and the breath within the shape. And then we bring our hands down in front of our face to gently bring you up. correct myself there. It's not the first curve we're born with, but the first part of the spine that starts to develop. Okay, so in your tabletop position, you might just find a little bit of movement here, just to free up the spine. Put your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. And then what we'll do is come to a place where you feel comfortable to sit for a few moments. So it might be on your heels, it could be cushions underneath you, your block underneath you. You could have your legs out in front or cross the legs. And then bring one hand to the lower ribs and the other hand just behind you. So kind of roughly the same place, it might just be a little bit lower. So if you roll the shoulders back slightly and feel the shoulder blades down the spine. Allow the natural curvature of the spine, and then you could bring your eyes in. We're going to take the breath in, and you'll feel it through the front hand, but can you encourage the breath to move towards the hand behind you? This might take a few rounds. Forcing the breath, but as it comes in, we might just start to feel the width, this expansive breath. Wanting it to reach the front, the back hand, as well as the sides of the body. And let's practice that, taking our time.
Voilà combien de jours, voilà combien de nuits, voilà combien de temps que tu es reparti. Tu me dis cette fois, c'est le dernier voyage. Pour nos cœurs déchirés, c'est le dernier naufrage. Au printemps tu verras, je serai de retour. Le printemps c'est joli pour se parler d'amour. Nous irons voir ensemble les jardins refleuris et déambulerons dans les rues de Paris.
You can take the hands away and swap. Take your time, feel the back hand.
Quand reviendras-tu, dis?
Encouraging, not forcing.
Au moins le sais-tu que
Feel the sides of the body.
tout le temps qui passe ne se rattrape guère que tout le temps perdu ne se rattrape plus.
Just checking where your head is in space, see if you can bring the chin back slightly. And as we carry on with the next few rounds of breath, do you notice the spine move very subtly? So as you inflate the lungs and inflate the torso with this breath, does the spine kind of gently round over to shelter or protect the lungs? And then as you breathe out, do you notice that maybe the heart, the sternum lifts gently? There might be an extension somewhere. We'll watch the next 2 rounds, allowing the spine to move freely. But this breath towards the back of the body is just helping make contact not only with the spine but the nervous system. Allowing a bit more movement perhaps.
Quand reviendras-tu, dis?
Breath working with the fascia.
Au moins le sais-tu que
One more breath here.
tout le temps qui passe ne se rattrape guère que
Gently release the hands.
tout le temps perdu ne se rattrape plus.
Cool, and then gently come into your tabletop position. Just going to take 2 rounds with our breath, just changing the shape slightly. So as you breathe in, there's that nice wide expansive breath. Can you really allow the spine now to round with the crown of your head going towards the floor? And And then as you let the breath go, feel the heart kind of glide across your mat towards the wall in front of you, the sitting bones widen. As you inhale, the lungs inflate, the spine rounds. One more, not forcing the breath, just allowing it to go into the space around you. And then pause. Just going to send the ribs, the spine, let them glide over to the left. Soften the elbows, feel that nice dip in the spine as it lowers to the floor and then slides to the right. At the top it rounds. So it's a bit like a long skipping rope. At the top of this round, let's go in the opposite direction. Exaggerate the slides across. Great. So we're going to do that again, but this time take the knees wide, come back towards your heels, maybe pop a cushion behind your knees. Hands are grounded. Try and keep the arms straight-ish, soften the elbows. Glide to the left, circle around, glide to the right. And round behind you. So the skipping rope movement happening again. We're just closing the chain between us and the floor. We're trying to isolate this movement slightly. Take it in the other direction, so slide across. Feel the belly kind of soften. Slides over and then round. One more round. Great. And then come back into your tabletop position. What we'll do from here is pick up our feet, take them over to the left. Send your sitting bones slightly to the right. And then walk your hands over to the left. About shoulder width apart. So there's a moment here just to feel the tissue kind of open and stretch over the right side of the body. You might be able to breathe into that. And then we're going to take 2 rounds of our cat and cow. So inhaling to round up. So it might be different to what you're used to. Pause, and then when you're ready to exhale, heart forward, let the sitting bones widen, press yourself. To come up, inhale. Wait for the exhale. Bring yourself back. Slowly lower. Bring your hands back to the middle. Bring your feet back to the middle. And then come up and take your feet towards the right now. Your hips, sitting bones to the left. Hands to the right. So gentle push away from the floor. Gentle breath. Stay here or take the final 2 rounds. Inhale to roll and round up. Exhale, sitting bones widen, half forward. Glide back. Last one. Just letting the spine experience a different way of curving here. Laterally. Bringing the hands back to middle, the feet back to middle, you're back in your tabletop position. So you might have a shape that you want to go into here. Otherwise, we might just spend a few breaths with the big toes together, the knees wide, sitting bones back. They might hover in space, they might come close to the heels, but we'll take the arms out into extended child's pose. Letting your head rest. Allowing the weight of the heart to come forward. Bring any fear, anxiety towards the earth.
Sur le temps qui passe, se rattrape
massages the back of the heart.
se rattrape plus.
The vertebrae have space to breathe and be breathed. As and when you're ready, let's bring our gaze up. Press down through the palms, gently pull yourself forward. And then we can walk the knees back and come to lie on our belly. So keep your cushions close, but we'll start lying down, stacking the hands, letting the head rest, and the big toes can come together, the heels can fall out. And as you start to pour your weight now through the front of the body, let's use that compression to send the breath or encourage it towards the back of the body. So we start to deepen our connection with the nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, helping us find this place of centeredness, of peace, perhaps a sense of calm, a place where we're not feeling as if we are contracting or clinging in any way, or perhaps wanting to flee. And if that is happening for you, can you adjust your shape so that you can find that neutral place where there's heaps of space around you, but there is a stillness? And that might mean rolling onto your side. Otherwise, we'll help ourselves get there, if we're not already, using the breath. So focusing on that. As the breath comes in, what does it reach? What does it touch? How does the body respond? We're here for a few rounds, so again, feel free to adjust and do whatever you need to do. Check that you are in the right place. Asking yourself, do you feel safe, comfortable and supported? And follow that place, the breath towards center, where you're just observing, watching, and not pulled in one direction or the other. That this is enough, more than enough. Let yourself have this moment.
Kiss me lonely, help me softly with the fear. Hold me, how long have we been sitting here? And the corners of the room fell silent just as soon as we walked in. Well, I didn't care to say, there was something in the way that I could taste the air between, you know. Something in the way that I could taste the air between us.
Checking in, is this a place that you want to stay? You're so welcome if so. Otherwise, we could make a change. And if you are making a change and coming up gently onto your elbows just ahead of your shoulders, check in again. Have you made a change because you feel like you should or shouldn't in some way? Can we be led by our body or be led by curiosity? And if you come into this Sphinx shape and you can feel the lower back talking, then you might just take the feet apart slightly if they're not already. You could use your cushions just to much weight in the arms and through the lower back. Or you can take your arms a bit longer, a little bit wider, or return. Wherever you are, check in. Do you feel safe, comfortable, supported? And if so, come to that focus of the breath. Follow the breath to that place of observance, a place that feels very neutral.
So kiss me solo, help me shelter with the fear. Distance, fresco, how long have you been over there? And the borders of the room disappeared as soon as you walked in.
The breath still moving towards the back of the body, maybe towards the lower spine.
What I didn't care to say, there was something in the way that I could taste the air between us.
Watching the next few breaths.
Something in the way that I could taste what had escaped me while the trains all ran on time. Tracks we can't rewind now alone. Something in the air between us.
You might choose to stay here or lower.
Something in the way that I could taste what had escaped me while the trains all ran on time. Tracks we can't rewind now alone. Something in the air between us.
Gently making your way down, head rests if you haven't already. Looking for that slow, steady breath. Staying awake and aware, observing the shape of the spine now. And the subtle change. As we make these changes through our shapes, through our practice, can we stay awake to those moments that we kind of want those moments to be different? And you might notice a response of perhaps contracting in some way, holding on, bracing, a sense of clinging to the parts you do like in another way. Or that sense of just wanting to leave and go to a place that you prefer. And when we catch ourselves there, that might be when the breath helps direct us to the point that is right in between the middle of those directions. And as we stay there and let the breath open that space around us, we've got time to respond. Maybe find a creative solution to come back or move in a different direction, to stay. And as that space expands, we might start to feel the life in these moments move through us.
So kiss me lonely, help me softly with the fear.
As the life moves through us, keeping with the safety of the breath and your presence, just a reminder that you are here, still here with this body. Lovely. Bringing your gaze up, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, gently bringing yourself up into tabletop position. And then we'll shuffle around so that we can lie on our back once again. Having your cushions nice and close, and keeping them close. We're going to spend the first shape. You might have been here at the beginning, but the feet are out towards the side of the mat and the knees come together. You can have your hands either gently on your heart, your belly. They might be beside you or overhead. And we just adjust to the changes that we notice now. How things shift in the body, where it feels most present now compared to where you were. Staying close to the breath keeping you close to your body. And this presence, this breath, this body keeping you right in this moment. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. We stop doing everything and let everything occur. We stop doing and move into being. How does it feel to be here now? In that neutral place.
Try not to figure out the road 3 steps ahead. Thoughts fell into doubting, looking for a safe way out till she calmly said, trust the process with an open heart and love the pieces even as they fall apart.
If you're comfortable, you're so welcome to stay here. If you'd like to make another change, then we walk the feet a little bit closer together so the knees are apart. Press down through the feet, take hold of your cushions and just pop them underneath your sitting bones. Arms could be out beside you, nice and wide overhead, or keep them close.
Find your own success. Try to do more with less and take only what you need.
Bringing this downward pour of energy towards the back of the
Let
heart.
each moment show you came here just to know you, just to hear you breathe.
The heart grounded, anchored.
And trust the process with an open heart and love the pieces even as they fall apart.
Staying or keep moving back towards this neutral place, this center, this place where we can observe. Even as this shape in the body changes, as the breath continues to change, the cells, the life around us.
Step a little closer now. The fire's almost out, so take from it what you need. Let each moment show you came here just to know you, just to hear you breathe.
It's down through the feet, let's lift and take the cushions away.
And trust the process with an open heart.
Feet towards the side of the mat, knees together.
Love the pieces even as they fall apart.
Staying awake to the changes again. Yet in the safety of the stillness within.
Trust the process with an open heart. Love the pieces even as they fall. Trust the process
changes occur, can you allow the changing to change? How you're feeling. If this is a place that you wish to stay or extend your legs, then you're so welcome. Otherwise, the last shape we're going to take is a little twist, and with the feet and the legs where they are, we could just send the knees over towards the right, and you'll feel the knees slide apart. We're here for a few breaths, so check in, see how this feels. You might feel that you want to bring your knees a little bit closer together, that's an option. Your left arm can just find the space behind you and settle. And your other hand might just be gently resting on your ribs. Take a few moments just to feel this initial coiling or gentle twist through the spine. The shoulders soften. Get used to this change, and then we stay awake to what your body is calling for, what it's longing for. It might feel that it wants to explore this twist a little bit more, and if so, you could send this top arm out towards the wall beside you, the other arm out so you're in a T shape, and maybe slide top knee to meet the bottom knee. Gaze could be towards center, it might be over towards the opposite side of the room. Pressing down through the head so you can rearrange the shoulders, even if you can keep the back of the shoulders tracking towards the floor. And then we'll settle in.
Is it in the spaces that we yet to fill with stories of our sins? Do I go as far as I can reach with these four limbs? Do I lie within the flesh and bone contained inside this skin? Where do I begin?
It feels like you want to return to center, you're welcome, otherwise we'll stay a little bit longer.
Where does mine end? Where does yours begin? Is it in the spaces that we're yet to fill with the trophies of our wins? Is it at the lights we drew upon this earth as it spins? Or is it just whatever there is left after the breaking? So where should we meet? Let's start where the river flows into the sea, running naked, running free of identity.
Gaze comes back, the knees come back, you might bring the knees in for a little hug. expanding of the spine once again, lengthening of the lower back. And then we'll reset, so feet out towards the side of the mat, knees together. See how you feel about sending them over to the other side. You can always prop your knees using your cushion or your block. Knees slide apart for a moment, just to feel that initial kind of turn and twist through the length of the spine. You can take your right arm overhead, just allow the side body to have a breath or two. Really listening along the back body. What is it that it needs? It might stay here, it might just come back to Shavasana, or in the next few breaths, bringing both knees a little bit closer together, coming a little bit more onto that hip, sending your arms up into a T shape and allowing the right shoulder to get heavy, even if the arm hovers.
Where do we end? Where do they begin?
Finish the twists through the cervical spine, the neck, by taking your gaze to the right.
Is it in the spaces that we yet to fill with tales of origin?
Soften the eyes, watching the breath.
Is it at the border of the land we live in? Or is it in the words we use, what we believe, or the color of our kin?
Welcome to come back to center or stay. Staying, we'll stay for another 5 or 6 rounds of breath.
So where should we meet? Let's start where the river flows into the sea. Running naked, running free of identity.
Allowing our spine this moment just to kind of drain from any excess energy.
So where should we meet? Let's start where the river flows into the sea. Running naked, running free of identity.
When I say excess energy, any energy that contains fear, anxiety, the stuff that we might be aware of and the stuff that we're not aware of, that our body automatically suppresses, puts away for another day, so that we can continue to keep showing up, not only be there for ourselves, but be there for the others around us. Bringing your eyes back to the middle, bringing your legs back, give them a nice hug once again. So we are now going to move towards Shavasana, and I want you to be as comfortable as you possibly can. So if that means propping your cushions somewhere around you, feel free. It might be nice having them underneath your knees. You could have one underneath your head, around your spine, around the sides of the body can be really nice. Make sure you're warm, and then send the legs out into that place where it allows the spine to be in a nice neutral place, where you've got that nice curve just underneath the lower back. You can feel the curve obviously through the neck. And then broaden through the collarbones, let the hands rest somewhere beside you or on you. Let the toes fall out, the bones get really heavy, and we start to close the eyes, come back to the breath, and follow the breath into that spaciousness that exists between the likes and the dislikes, or the pushing and pulling, between the light and the dark, the up and the down. Place right in the middle that is simply as it is. A place where we can see out from a neutral lens. A place that offers us even more space if we allow ourselves to be in it. A place that allows this life to move through us so that we can feel it and not be disturbed. And then around us, the changing continues to change, even through the walls of this body, the cycle of the breath. We as humans often, I believe, seek to find security in this world which we realize is ever-changing. Apart from this stillness, this place of consciousness where you are surrounded by patience and love. This is the only permanent thing we have. It's always here waiting for us to spend some time here. The breath, a constant reminder as it comes in, as it spends a few moments within the body and then gently passes away or moves through. A constant reminder of these ever-occurring changes. In this place that you rest now, may you feel its offering of safety, of comfort and support, allowing us to ride each wave as it comes, undisturbed.
My love took it down.
Rest here.
Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills, till a landslide brought me down. A mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Whoa. Oh, I don't know, 'cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too.
Stay awake to the changes. Stay in this rest.
'Cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Take my love, take it down. Climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring it down. Yes, the landslide will bring it down. Yes, the landslide will bring it down.
And as we cherish this moment, these moments, and this quality of awareness that you have cultivated through the last hour, may these moments here help us to remember how important it is for us to respect our states of being, and to help remind us to stay awake and notice when it's time to pause, to cleanse, to create space for you, yourself. And another reminder to take intensive care of you and your needs, rather than exhausting your energy, trying to keep up or change whatever changes occur. May this be our safe refuge. From our hearts to yours, thank you so much for slowing down, creating this hour, carving it out of your day so that you can join us and do what you need to do for your body, your heart, your mind, your soul. Make sure you're safe, comfortable, and supported. And when you don't feel that, can you make the change? Take care. Have a beautiful rest of your day or evening. Until we meet again, namaste.